Oh my gosh, I am so excited that you have decided to join me for my very first doll crochet along. So this is the first doll crochet along that I am hosting. If you're new, you don't know who I am, this is Yolanda. I am the hands behind My Pretty Brown Doll. Here to talk about the My Pretty Brown Doll Fall Doll Crochet Along. Again, thank you for joining me for my very first doll crochet along. I'm super excited to have you here. And I wanted to come on and do this video because right now during this phase, you should be gathering your supplies. So you should have your supply list and you should be making sure that you have all the supplies that you need. So here's the thing about this crochet along. It is like we know we're making a doll, but we're not exactly sure. And when I say we, I mean you are not exactly sure what the doll is going to look like and all of those different things. It is a new doll design for me for certain aspects of it, but there are things that are definitely going to remain the same. So if you are familiar with my doll designs, just know that this is still a leg up design, meaning that we do start with our legs, we go into the body, we join in the arms, the head is done separately, and then we attach the head to that body with the arms. So that aspect of it is not changing, but there are some other cool aspects of it that are different from dolls that I've done before. Some of the things are still the same, but there are quite a few things different. And then this particular design has like this fabulous accessory that I'm so excited to share with you. So first things first, like I said, you should be gathering your supplies. So I do have the supply list here. Like I said, you should have gotten an email that has the supply list in there. And so I'm just gonna go over the things that you are going to need in order to make this design. I'll also talk about where you can get some of these things, the supplies that you need. So I have put all the supplies or a sample of the supplies in this little box. And so we're just gonna go through this little tote here with the supplies. So first things first, I have all my crochet hooks in this super cute My Pretty Brown Doll little pouch. If you're interested in one of these, let me know. I can get you a link. But so I have, and look, and the Mia enamel pin chilling on the pouch as well. But I have all my hooks and things in this pouch. And so I do say that you are going to need a 3.75 millimeter, a 3.5 millimeter, and a 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. Now, if you didn't know already, if you're like new to me, you will know, you may not know that I am a fan of the Clover Soft Touch, Gold Touch, whatever touch these are. I'm a fan of these hooks. And so this is what you will be seeing me use throughout the crochet along. And so like I said, I have a 3.75 millimeter. It says it's an F, but I don't really go by the letters. I go by the millimeters. So 3.75 millimeter. A 3.5 millimeter, which again they say is an E. I don't go by the letters, I just go by the millimeters. So 3.5, and then a 3.25, which is they say is a D. So these are the three hooks that I say you need to absolutely have in order to make your doll. I would also recommend that you have a 4 millimeter as well. So the 4 millimeter is a G. Have a 4 millimeter handy. You should always have a G hook. You should always have a G hook, just, you know, in your pocket. So have a G hook handy as well. We may or may not use the G hook, but these three we definitely are going to use. So the 3.75, the 3.5, and the 3.25, you definitely need to have these. And then, like I said, you should just have a 4 millimeter hook handy. So that's your hooks. In terms of yarn, you are going to need worsted weight yarn for the skin tone, for the bottoms, for the top, and then a worsted weight yarn for the wig cap as well. Now, when it comes to doll designs, you will hear people say that some yarn works better than other yarn. When I first made my very first doll, I used cotton yarn for that doll. And I am partial to cotton yarn and natural fibers for my doll designs. My favorite cotton yarn to use right now at the moment is Hobby Lobby I Love This cotton. So this is currently what I currently use, the Hobby Lobby I Love This cotton, if I'm going to use a cotton yarn. Now, the reason that some people say that you might not want to use cotton yarn or a natural fiber for your amigurumi project is because they tend to do have a little bit of stretch to them. And if you know anything about amigurumi, with amigurumi, you want your stitches really tight and really neat. And so there are quite a few people who would probably say, oh, don't use cotton yarn. I am not one of those people. What I do say is find a good sturdy cotton yarn like Hobby Lobby I Love This cotton, and then what I do is go down a hook size. So if I'm going to use the cotton yarn, I use a 3.5mm crochet hook for the body and things like that to kind of keep my stitches tight if I'm going to use a cotton yarn. Now, if you have some of my patterns, there are a few of my patterns out there that say to use a 4mm hook. That is when I first started, and if you find that the 4mm is making your stitches too loose, then go down, try a 3.75, and then if you still find that they're too loose, definitely use a 3.5, like I said, with the cotton yarn, and you will find that it works out. Well, it works out really well for me. So if you want to use a natural fiber, like I said, I do use Hobby Lobby's I Love This cotton. Now, for acrylic fibers, I use a range of acrylic fibers from Red Heart Super Saver to Lion Brand's Vanna's Choice to let's see, I've used Big Twist yarn before for acrylic yarn. That's Joann's brand of acrylic yarn. So if you do want to use acrylic fiber, you can pretty much use any acrylic fiber. The only ones that I don't recommend are the ones that are like super soft, like they say they're a 4-weight. So like Caron Simply Soft. I personally would not recommend that you use Caron Simply Soft for the body of your doll because it is a really soft yarn, and you may find that it does not have the sturdiness that you need for your doll, because your doll needs to have some depth to it. It needs to have some sturdiness to it. And so if you're using a yarn like Caron Simply Soft for the body, you may find that the doll is a little too flimsy. So I would not recommend Caron Simply Soft. But like I said, Red Heart Super Saver, Lion Brand's Vanna's Choice, Joann's brand, the Big Twist brand of yarn works well. I have used Red Heart Soft before, but I'm even, I try to, you know, I'm a little careful with Red Heart Soft as well. And then, of course, I do also use the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn. I find that this is a good yarn to use as well. It is one of my favorite brands if I am going to use acrylic fibers. I would say just find the yarn that has the skin tone that you want and then go for that. But again, try to avoid using like a super soft or a super flimsy 4-weight yarn, or a 4-weight that doesn't have any like sturdiness to it. Try to avoid those as much as possible. So again, that's for your skin tone. Then for your clothing, like I said, you're going to need a yarn color for your bottoms and a yarn color for your top. Now this, in this case, for this particular design, what I'm going to say is that for the bottoms, I would recommend that you use a brand of yarn that is the same brand or the same type of yarn as what you use for the skin tone. So if you're going to use Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn for your body, I recommend that you also use a Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn for the bottom, like a different color, but use it for your bottom as well. I'm going to recommend that. Take my recommendation. So whatever yarn you choose for your skin tone, try to find a yarn in the color that you want your bottoms to be, in that same vein or in that same family of yarn. That's what I meant to say, in that same family of yarn. Now for the top, The top can be any 4-weight yarn. So you can use Caron Simply Soft, you can use Caron Party, you can use, like for the top, it can be a lighter weight 4-weight yarn. So like I said, if you want to use Caron Simply Soft for the top, you certainly can. If you have like a DK weight yarn that you want to use, you certainly can. For the top, it doesn't have to be that same sturdiness as the bottoms. But like I said, for the bottoms, I do recommend that you use a yarn in the same family as the skin tone. And then your top can be whatever 4-weight yarn you want it to be in the color that you want it to be. Just make sure that your colors are complementary. Just make sure your colors are complementary. Now you're also going to need a complementary yarn, 2 yarns. One of them needs to be a sparkle and then a solid color for your special accessory. So for the special accessory, you want to get like like this is Caron Simply Soft Sparkle. So I'm going to use this, and you can either use like Caron Simply Soft Black or any color that would complement the Caron Simply Soft Sparkle. So you need 1 sparkle yarn and then a complementary color for that sparkle yarn for the special accessory. And then for the hair, a chunky weight yarn. If you know anything about me, you know my favorite chunky weight yarn is Yarn Bee Fleece Light. This is a Hobby Lobby yarn, Yarn Bee Fleece Light. This is similar to Lion Brand's, I think it's called Fleece or something, or Twist or something like that. You've seen it. It's a Lion Brand yarn that has this same similar texture as this. So if you don't have a Hobby Lobby close by, or if you don't shop at Hobby Lobby, you can definitely it just has to be a chunky weight yarn. In fact, you don't even have to use the Lion Brand that's similar to this. Just needs to be a chunky weight yarn in the color. And for the wig cap, remember your wig cap needs to match the color of your chunky weight yarn. So again, I'm going to be using the black Caron Simply Soft with this. So those need to match. Whatever wig cap color you choose, make sure your chunky weight yarn is a very similar color to that. Let's see. So we have that. We have the chunky weight yarn. So you're also going to need pom-pom makers. I use Clover pom-pom makers. You can use whatever pom-pom makers you have, but so this is the large Clover pom-pom maker. This blue one is the large. They also have a blue jumbo. You do not need the jumbo. You just need the regular blue large, or this green, which is the medium size. So you either can do the large blue or the regular or the medium green. So that's what you're going to need. You are going to need either one of those. Doesn't matter which one you pick, either one of those. You are also going to need 15mm eyes. I get my eyes from Hobby Lobby. If you didn't know, I shop at Hobby Lobby a lot. One reason is because it's close to me, and they normally have everything that I need. So I do shop at Hobby Lobby a lot. But you're going to need 15mm eyes. These are the particular ones that I use. And then you're going to need some felt circles. I get these from Amazon, and I will put a link so that you can, if you want to order these pre-cut circles, you certainly can. Or if you want to cut your own, like if you have a Cricut machine and want to cut your own, you can do that. Also, I know that Lakeisha of Keys Crafts, or Key Crafts, she also sells them. Like I think she has like a whole kit where you can get the eyes and the pre-cut felt. So if you want to contact her, I'll put a link for her as well if you want to get some from her already pre-cut. Stitch markers. I know it's a rumor out there that I don't use stitch markers. Don't believe the rumor. I got a whole thing of stitch markers. So you are going to need your stitch markers. Oh, let me not forget. So you do need some polyfill. And use Fairfield polyfill. That's pretty much the only polyfill that I use. So yeah, but I'll put a link for the polyfill because you definitely need some polyfill to be able to stuff your doll. You're going to need scissors, a yarn needle, the wooden dowel. So you need 2 different size wooden dowels. 2 different size wooden dowels. Let's see. I say, okay, so I did say 1/4 inch. Okay, great. Because I thought I might have put the wrong one, but I did not. So you need the 3/8 inch, which is this one. Now I found this multi-pack at Walmart. This multi-pack at Walmart. If I can find a link for it, I will definitely put it in the description of this. But I found this at Walmart. It has a 3/8 inch, a 5x16, a 1x4, and a 3x16. And so you're gonna need the 3/8 inch, which is the largest one in the pack, and then you need the 1/4 inch, which is next to, it's not the smallest one in the pack, but next to the smallest one in the pack. So just to compare the two side by side so you guys can see, you're going to need a 3/8 and a 1/4. 3/8 and 1/4 inch. So you do need both of these. You do need both of these. And in fact, you may end up needing 2 of the 1/4, but we may be able to just do it with 1. With the multi-pack that I got, it came with 2 of each. It did come with 2 of each, but make sure you definitely have the 3/8. You're definitely going to need the 3/8. You're definitely going to need the 1/4 as well. So just make sure that you have your wooden dowels. And then last but not least, you're also going to need a hot glue gun with glue sticks. And so, yeah, I think that covers everything. Oh, optional. The reason I did not put this on the list is because I rarely use it. I rarely use it. But if you have a row counter is definitely helpful. I normally just count my rows by hand. I do have one, and when I remember to use it, I use it. But most of the time I don't remember to use it. So I just count my rows by hand. But if you have a row counter, you may definitely find that the row counter is helpful. So have one of these on hand as well. Okay, I think that covers everything. If I missed anything, I'll type it up. It'll be, you know, in the comments or in the description. But yeah, so hopefully that helps you get your supplies and helps you kind of figure out what you need to get. So the way this is going to work, we'll start actually crocheting the doll on the 1st. So either late night on the 30th or early morning on the 1st, you will get an email that has the first part of that pattern, which is going to be the head of your doll. And you will get, and you can start working on it as soon as you get it. Like as soon as you get the pattern, you can start working. I will probably pop into the Facebook group. And if you're not a part of the Facebook group, there's a link somewhere for you to join the Facebook group. But I will probably pop into the Facebook group and do a video. Now, I'm not going to sit there and crochet the whole head with y'all, but I will pop in for some of the more trickier parts. If you have questions about something with it, I will definitely pop in to be able to help. If you're not on Facebook, don't worry, you will still get the video. I will send it to you via email, so you're not going to miss anything if you're not on Facebook. And even if I do it live and you miss the live, again, don't worry. Don't panic. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I missed the live. Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll still have access to it, and you'll still be able to ask me questions in real time, and I will still get back to you in a timely manner. It may not be immediately, but in a timely manner. The goal for us is to just have a really good time crocheting together. Okay? So, again, thank you for joining the Crochet Along. I cannot wait wait to see how you guys put your own spin on this design. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to let me know. If you have friends who you think should join the crochet along, boo, pass this information along and be like, is you in the crochet along? You need to be part of the crochet along because this is about to be lit.